If I were to look at the first half of the data, Q1 is just the median of that first part. Okay, so if I said, well, I want to look at the second half of the data, Q3 is the median of just that second half. Okay, so it's a fancy Q1 and Q3, fancy words for medians, just a part of the data, not the whole thing. Okay? No. So the Q means quartile. It's just a part of the data. All right, so quartile 1 is your first half. Okay, so Q1 is the median of the first half of data. Q3, median of the second half. Okay, so median, like the middle part of it? Yes. Median is the middle of all of it. Okay. To find the interquartile range, and instead of saying interquartile 100 times, we're going to call it IQR, because that is an abbreviation for interquartile range. So IQR. All right, the double box plot shows the ages of people at 2 different movies. Compare their centers and variations. Write an inference you can draw about the 2 populations. Okay, something you have to know, because if you don't know how to read a box plot, you're not going to be able to answer any of these questions. Okay, so here and here, this represents my minimum value. So if I were to try to plot all of this, this would be my minimum value. That is my very first dot. Okay, this one is my Q1. So that would be the median of the first half of my data. This one is my Q3, so that's the median of the second half of my data. What do you think that middle dot would be then?
Q2.
The median of all the data. There is no Q2, Will. No Q2. All right, so that means this one would be my maximum value, my highest value. It would be this number. You have to know those things. So I saw some of you just sitting there staring. If you didn't write those, write those. Because you will need this for your test.
Wait, why is there no Q2?
There's just not. I didn't make the rules, so I can't tell you why. All right. So same thing here. Minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and max. All right. So it says neither box plot is symmetric. What does symmetric mean? Yeah, if I were to split it in half, they would look the same, right? Well, if I split it in half, do they look exactly the same? No, this one's, there's more here than there is here. Same right here. There's more here than there is here. So it says use the median to compare the centers in the interquartile range to compare the variations. So median. What is the median of movie A?
33.5.
33.5. Okay, what's the median of movie B?
35.5.
35.5. Okay, so my interquartile range, my IQR. Now up here, we highlighted it, boxed it. To find the IQR, I take Q3 minus Q1. What is my Q3 on movie A? 35. What is my Q1 on movie A? 32. So what is 35 minus 32? 3. So that is my IQR for movie A. All right, so for movie B, what is my Q3? Because I have to do Q3
34.
minus Q1.
Q1 is 34. Q1
I
is
asked what
38.
Q3 is, so Q3 is 38. Okay. Q1 is what?
Where did you get 32 from? On the deal.
Q1, top one.
Where's that 32?
That's the 32.
That's the median, Trey. That's 33.5.
Okay, so 38 is my Q3. What is my Q1 of movie B?
34.
Okay, so 38 minus 34 is?
4.
Okay, so I have my medians of each. What does the median mean?
The middle.
The middle. Okay, IQR means? Yeah, it's my range between all my medians, essentially. Okay. So this is representing the ages of people. So these are the ages of people that went and saw movie A and the ages of people that went and saw movie B. If I had to write a statement to compare these, what are some things I could say?
Movie B has people, it goes from people over 30 to 40.
Okay. What about movie A?
Movie A goes from 30 to 35.
Okay. So could we say the people in movie B were people who saw movie B were typically what? Older. Okay. The median age is higher, so that tells us they were older, and my interquartile range is higher. All right, so we can say movie B typically had an older audience. We can say that because movie B's median was higher. Is their IQR that far off?
No, it's only one.
The IQR for both was, we can put similar or close or not far off, anything along those lines.
You need to do this in your life.
To make what?
Do something like this. You need to do the IQR.
Yeah, some people have to. Depends on your job. But Trey, it doesn't look like you're writing very much over there. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you've got all that written. Okay.
Yes, Ralph, what kind of job would you need this for?
Anybody that deals with numbers and data analysis, and I mean, don't ask me to give you specifics, but anybody who deals with numbers a lot. I'd have to look up exact job titles for you, Will. I don't know if accountants would, but maybe. I don't know. It's a good question, though. All right. Flip it over. Yeah, anybody who's in charge of reports, probably for any corporation that's trying to determine, where they need to get better, and the people who analyze the data for that corporation are probably going to have to look at stuff like that. All right. The double box plot shows the heights in inches for players on two professional basketball teams. Compare their centers and variations. So what is centers? Your medians. Variations, IQR. All right. So how we're going to do this to make sure that we can organize this in a good way. All right, we're going to look at our Knicks team, and we're going to look at the Nets.
Who's the Nets?
A basketball team. All right, so what is the median? This is height. So what is the median height for the Knicks? 80. Okay. My IQR, well, Q1 is what? 76. My Q3 is, I have to do 81 minus 76. So what's 81 minus 76? 5. So my IQR is 5. Okay, for the Nets, what is my median value? 79. My Q3 for the Nets is, my Q1 is 75. What's 82 minus 75? 7.
So for IQR, you have to do A for like a medium one.
Q3 minus Q1. Basically, the outside of your box and the outside of your box.
It's pretty easy.
But the median is not always in the middle.
No, not on the box plot, no.
Okay.
Because you could have like a set of numbers and them not all be close together like this. Like this box plot would probably be pretty even because there's not gaps in the data. When there's gaps in the data, like if I went from 24, 25, 26 to like 50, 60, 70, that's when our boxes start looking kind of skewed towards one part. Does that make sense? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So if we had to write a statement about this data, what is something we could write about it?
By number 1.
About this one. Mm-hmm. It's comparing the heights of the players.
So these inches. Oh, I not see it. Never mind.
Okay, what are their medians? Are their medians pretty similar?
Yes.
So could we write that?
Yes.
Okay.
Medians are.
But medians are about the same. What could we write regarding the differences in heights for each team? Okay, so the Nets, their shortest player is at 72. Their tallest player is at 84. All right, the Knicks' shortest player is at 74, and their highest is 83.
Alright. Oh wait. Their shortest is 2 inches taller, and their highest is
Okay,
1 inch.
let's.
1 inch.
That's true, but let's give a little bit more of a general statement, not so specific in this case. Could you say something like the Nets do they have a greater variation of players, like the heights? Yeah, I went all the way from 72 to 84. I have a very large variation of heights in my players here. Whereas this one is not as far in between, so my heights are not going to be as spread out. Right? Y'all agree? Okay, so you could write something like their medians are the same, but the Nets have a greater variation of heights.
Well, this is McDonald's.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yay. Perfect. I will come get them after 11. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Okay.
Hold that.
Will, is that any of your concern? If it was concerning you, would I let you know?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the double dot plot shows the number of minutes 2 students spent practicing the piano. Compare their centers and variations. What do you notice about these 2 dot plots?
It's the same thing forward and backwards.
Okay, so it's symmetric. Good observation, Gabby. It's the same thing forward as backwards. I went from 1 to 2 to 3 to 2 to 1. All right, I could go the same either way. All right. That means what? The median's going to be the same. Okay. It's not exactly the same,
It's 150,
but it's
160.
close. So remember how I find the median with the dot plot is I cross off the dots until I get to the middle. Now, I have 3 left, but they're all on the same number. So would that be my median no matter what?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lily, the median is what? 60.
Ow.
All right, my IQR. Now, here's the deal with the IQR and dot plots. Since it's symmetric, it is pretty easy to find my IQR. If it was not symmetric, I would probably have to lay out the dots in order from least to greatest and do it that way. Okay? But right now, if this was my minimum value, this was my maximum value, this is my median, what do you think these 2 are? Yeah, Q1 and Q3. There's no other way for that to happen. Like I said, is it going to be like this with every dot plot?
No.
No. Now, what would my IQR be for Lily then? Q3, 65, minus Q1, 55. What's 65 minus 55? 10. Okay, so let's look at Alessandra.
Oh.
What is my median for Alessandra? 50. What would my IQR be? 10. Okay. So, if I would have to write a statement, what are some things I observe about these 2? It is about the minutes spent practicing the piano. What? They have the same IQR. So, is their data variation the same?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, we started here. We have 2 here, 3 here, 2 here, 1 here. Same thing right here, right? Their IQR is the same. Their median's a little bit different. But essentially, their variation, the spread of the data, is pretty much the same, right? So let's start by saying that. We can say nearly the same variation. Okay, but what's different about Lily's data versus Alessandra's data?
Lily has a median of 60 minutes and Alessandra has a median of 50.
Okay, so her data is centered around higher values, right? Okay, but Lily's data So could you say Lily practiced more?
Wait, what's that for data?
Centers.
Oh.
Yes, I think.
Yes. Because if Lily's values center around, or Lily's data is around higher values, would you say she practiced more? Yeah, because all of her days that she practiced is at higher numbers than Alessandra's.
Where's your Ian value?
Right here.
How do you find the
Q3 minus Q1.
Done.
Okay, this next one is a way that this could be tested on the STAR test. To me, it's significantly easier. So I want you to try it. When you've got an answer, put your thumbs up. Thumb.
Don't. I thought we were both. I think
The median is the one in the middle, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Está bien, esto sí está fácil, ¿me entiendes? Porque es el Q1, este es el mediano, este es el Q2. Para sacar el mediano, lo haces menos. Como aquí, ¿ves? Como acá arriba, está fácil para hacer. Yes, yes. Sí, porque esto
I
es
got it.
el Q1 y este es el Q3 y luego este es el mediano. Y para sacar el número, no haces menos. ¿Me entiendes, nene? Yes, sir.
Okay, I see 3 people with the thumbs up.
I'm glad spring break is near.
Not as much as us.
I'm going to a Tahana festival
Where can I go?
in San Antonio.
Oh, bro, Trace was in Houston. I can be there. That's why I'm going over spring break.
My family first.
What's that?
Tahana festival? It's like a concert but with a lot of music. That's what it is.
So, concert.
music.
Yeah, but there's different types of music. Like,
Okay, so we're talking about that. Trey, you got an answer?
I don't need to.
Anybody get anything besides B? All right, B is correct.
No.
The median of the data for school 2, school 2's median was